children, back to our political class science today. We have to discuss some more points related to our political parties. We discussed about different type of party system and also the functions of party system. What is a political party? What are the major components of a political party? And why do our country India follows multi-party system? Today we can discuss its remaining portions, that's like the different type of political parties, that is national political party and state political party. How these parties can be recognized, what our privileges are also for them, and what are the major challenges for political parties, and how to reform political parties. These are the topic that we are discussing now. That means how many type of political parties are? Mainly we can say state political parties and national political parties. That means lots of political parties, as I think in the last class we have discussed about that around 750 political parties are there registered with the Election Commission of India. And Election Commission of India has put forward some criteria to categorize or to recognize a party as national political party or state political party. And the most important thing that a state political party means a party has its followers in any of the states in our country. That means no more followers in other parts of our country. Most important political followers of that party will be confined to one state alone. But just opposite, if a political party has its branches or its followers in almost different other states also, that can be considered as a national political party. So, as all the political parties, as our Indian constitution is already awarded some privileges and also consideration for all Indians to form our own political party, we people are willing and also have our freedom to make as many political parties as we need. But all political parties may not be given equal consideration by the Election Commission of India. So, what are the criteria to consider a party as national or state? That is need to study now. A state political party will be considered by Election Commission whenever that political party gets 6% of vote in a legislative assembly election. And also minimum 2 seats also need to won by that party in that election. So 6% of vote plus 2 seat need to be acquired by a political party to get recognition as a state political party. Or 6% of vote in Lok Sabha election or in parliamentary election, and minimum 4 seat need to consider for a party to be identified as national political party. So 2 seat for state party and 4 seat for national party. Percentages of election are similar. So whenever a political party is recognized by constitution Election Commission, they will give some different symbols etc. for political parties to be used at the time of election by that particular candidate. So such privileges also will be given by constitution and by the Election Commission. And we can say that as per the last elections, many changes happen or many support given already acquired by some of the political parties lost, and some new parties also emerged as national political party etc. So anyway, the most important famous political parties considered or recognized by Election Commission as national political party are INC, Indian National Congress, or CPI, CPIM, BSP, BJP, NCP, etc. are the most famous or popular national political parties. That means they have 6% of vote in Lok Sabha election at that time, and also they were able to get at least 4 seats. That means 4 elected persons to the parliamentary election. So such parties can be considered as national political party. And when we are talking about the challenges facing by political parties, as We know that lots of political parties are functioning in India either as state or national. They also faces some different challenges in front of their activities. They are mainly four in number. Four major challenges are there. This is one of the more common question recurrently coming in the question papers of your 10th standard. So keep well. And here the first or any one of the important challenge facing by the political parties are that there is no any internal democracy inside. Lack of internal democracy is one of the important challenge facing by political party. That means in case of a political party or a well established political party, there is no any variations in the positions carrying or holding by the leaders. Most probably there is no any internal elections to change the leaders. That means leaders of that political party itself. There is no any particular registration. There is no any internal election. There is no chance for the leaders from any other areas to come forward into the top level, etc. So whenever a political party keeps a particular people as its leaders, there is no any chance for people from the bottom level to come into its height. That is one of the challenge or problem facing by the political parties. Second challenge facing by political party is that it follows dynastic succession. Dynasty is a common term that we already heard from our lower classes. That means lots of rulers will be there from one family. After the father, its next ruler will be its son or brothers, etc. That means in case of political party also, just like the same system, most commonly the topmost powers or seats or positions of a political parties are always keeping or always vested in the hands of members from similar families sometimes. So always the leaders of that political party will be from the similar families, and after that father, the other important members from those family alone will not be given to any other new members to come to that position. That also another weakness of political parties. And the third one is say common term called the power and money and muscle power. Political parties are always using money and muscle power mainly at the time of election to win the election at any cost. So the influence of money or the great influential people of a political party most timely or most oftenly hindering or making obstacles on the way of functioning of a political party properly. Most of the leaders are always keeping a good relation with such a kind of illegal relationship with somebody else. That also makes the proper functioning of a political party, and leaders of such a system or such a situation always feels some kinds a helplessness to function by themselves because they may be influenced by money and muscle power. So the fourth one is so common and also one of the most important problem facing by political party, calling lack of meaningful choices. Meaningful choices. That means most of the political parties are keeping almost similar ideology. That means CPI, CPIM, NCP, INC, etc. haven't any more serious changes or serious differences in their ideologies. So most commonly people are really confused. What is the difference between these two? Which one we can opt at the time of election? Which one will give a proper program or policies at the time of, not at the time of election but for the people? Because almost every one of them are keeping a similar ideology. So people are really helpless to find out some differences in between them. They are totally confused. So four major challenges are there in front of political parties. In order to reform them, in order to overcome all these challenges, Constitution already given some methods to reform political parties. That is our next topic. We know that democracies are mainly based on election, and in order to conduct election, political parties are compulsory. And we follow, that is our country India follows multi-party system, where people will be having lots of choices to select their representatives either from one or two or three or many. But we always face a problem that many confusions are there, many kind of illegal activities are there, many types of malpractices are doing by the political parties against people and also sometimes against rule and regulation. So, if you are selecting such people as representative, the total administration or the peace and security of our country also will be in danger. So, political parties are for trying, or political parties need to avoid all these type of malpractices or illegal activities. If parties are not ready to change themselves, here we have, that is our country or our constitution or our Supreme Court, etc., put forward some rules and regulations and suggestions to change or to avoid all these type of malpractices into a little bit or to its maximum extent. One now such a method to reform our political party is that our constitution already introduced a new change in the constitution in order to avoid one of the important illegal practice or a cheating method of our elected representatives. That is, many of our elected representatives, or almost 99% of our elected representatives, are based on any one or two any of the political parties in India. After getting elected, some of the MPs or MLAs have a, a tendency to change or to shift from the party to another after election. That is the problem. Because whenever such changes or shifting from one party to another is occurring, it is a kind of deliberate cheating on the voters who trusted them or trusted these representatives. So, whenever such a malpractice is going on, in order to avoid that problem or in order to check the kind of activities, Constitution introduced a new law called anti-defection rule. That means whenever or this anti-defection rule give or introduced one important change, that it tries to prevent the movement of elected representatives from one party into another after elected. If they are moving after elected, automatically their seat or the position to which they are elected will be lost and they will become to a normal candidate or normal citizen. So, anti-defection law is one of the steps taken care by the constitution of our India in order to avoid such kind of a problem. So, no person or no elected person will be having such a tendency to move from that party in which he got elected to any other alien parties. Second step, that is by the Supreme Court of India itself, is that in order to avoid the problem of influence from the side of money and muscle power, a new policy or a new rule in the name of an order was issued by the Supreme Court, that whenever a candidate is giving his nomination to the election commission, he or she must fill up a particular details about his own economic background and also about his criminal background, that is if he is indulged in any cases early. All these details are to be given along with his nomination. That is known as affidavit is to be registered or to be given to the election commission. And in that affidavit, every detail, personal details and economic details or income details and criminal background together need to be given. But there is a one loophole, that there is no possibility for people or for our organization to check whether the details given by the candidate is true or false. So, anyway, such a chance is there for people to give their ideas about his or her economic or about his criminal background together in order to avoid the people who are getting elected should not be a man from the criminal background. And also must not be a person who is influencing by the external income sources. And the third method is also giving an order by the constitution, that every political parties need to conduct their organizational election in order to avoid the problem of either dynastic succession or lack of internal democracy. These two problems can be avoided or can be reduced into a minimum by conducting organizational elections regularly in a political party. So, the people will be almost changing from one to another and the power will not be vested in one hand. So these are the constitutional or governmental orders. And some other suggestions also are there. That means at the time of election, the one third of the seat is to be given to the women. So their representation also will be there in the election. That is in internal election, that is in party itself. And in order to conduct elections, government must give a share of fund for the political parties to keep a good relation with the government and political parties, and to avoid the external influence of money and muscle power over the political parties, and conducting regular elections in the party, and also to keep a register about the members of each party also is mandatory for every political parties. These all are some suggestions and some orders given by the constitution and government for political parties to reform themselves. So, by following all these methods, we people can hope that political parties may be away from all the external money or muscle power, and people will be having, or the representatives elected will be having a chance to show their talent, their policies without having no any external influence. So, political parties are really the backbone of a democracy. We need to get better persons as the representative get elected. That's why these methods are also put forward by our government and the constitution, plus our Supreme Court also. So, political parties are compulsory because we people need to express our ideas, and our government also need to conduct election, and these elected members need to make rules and regulations almost applicable to every majority population of our country. So, political parties must be reformed and must show their own talent, their own new ideologies for the total nation's development. So, let us stop now, hoping for a better administrative system, a political system for our country and across the world. So thank you. Have a nice day.